How's it going, you guys? MegaTrooper19 here, and I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to do this or not, but I don't really have anything else planned for the day as far as recording-wise, so I kind of just figured that I would do this and show off some really bad WWE2k14 gameplay because I just bought it, and I realized real quick that I'm not great at it, so anyway. I guess the reason why I haven't been putting anything up as of late is, well, I kind of gave the gist reason of it, and that was because both of my computers kind of crapped out, and I'm gonna tell you about my shitty experience with Best Buy. So I guess I should start from the start. I bought the computer that I'm using right now back at the end of, I believe it was the end of July when I moved into my new place. And when I bought it from my local Best Buy, and I bought the 1-year warranty on it. That way, if something bad happened, which ended up happening, so that way, you know, I could be covered for it and whatnot. So I purchased the 1-year warranty for it, and 2 months later, it was the end of September, so July, yeah, at the end of September, I went to turn on my computer one day, and I immediately noticed that something was wrong with it because it took a lot longer to start up, and like I said, I just knew that something was wrong with it. But once it started up, it was actually fine. Like, it opened up things and it was running at a normal pace. But after about a half hour, I noticed that it just slowed down to pretty much a crawl, and I immediately became worried. And I tried running my antivirus thing. I wasn't really using this computer for like anything bad. Like, I wasn't, you know, watching porn or anything like that on it. I was just watching videos on YouTube, watching movies on Netflix, getting on Hulu, playing computer games, stuff like that, like real basic stuff. And I had decent antivirus software on it, so I tried running it as I had, like, on probably like a couple of days. I'd run it every couple of days to make sure nothing was wrong with it, and it worked for a little while. The scan went on for a little while, and then it just, I think my computer started slowing down more and more and more and more as time went on. So my virus thing, it gave up. It just closed itself, and it said, no, I can't. It pretty much said it couldn't even continue. So I was like, shit. But I knew that I had my 1-year warranty on it, so I kind of felt safe about it. There was nothing really important on the computer, so I just sort of wrote it off like it wasn't really that big of a deal. I had a laptop that was kind of used for all of my editing, recording, my important stuff, so I just kind of wrote off my computer, like, I'll fix it whenever, you know, whenever. So a couple days later, I was on my laptop watching movies or something, I can't even really remember, and it froze up really bad, and I was instantly scared because, like I said, I had all my important stuff on it. I had quite a bit of it on external hard drives, but there was still some important stuff on there. So I restarted it and tried grabbing anything that I could that seemed important, and unfortunately I didn't grab anything of importance, which is why I had to delete quite a few videos, because I didn't really want to leave those playthroughs halfway done or whatnot. Maybe I'll do those again. I gotta figure out what it was that I actually deleted. It was a very depressing thing when I deleted all of them. It was just, yeah. Anyway, so the next day I took my actual computer in to get fixed because my laptop was way too old and my warranty was expired on it. So I took my computer in to get fixed, and I checked it in with a girl who was, should we say, gorgeous, way too good looking to be a Geek Squad member. She was stunning, and I told her what was wrong with it. I kind of, I'm not very technologically sound, so I was just kind of describing it. Like I told her I thought maybe there was a virus or something, because I didn't figure any of the components would have been messed up after just 2 months. So she said, well, do you have a warranty on it? And I said, yeah, I have a 1-year warranty on it. And she looked it up, and it turns out that I purchased one of 2 warranties. They didn't tell me when I bought my computer that there were 2 different warranties. They just said, do you want a warranty on it? And I was upset because I wasn't really expecting to spend any money on it, because I was like, well, I got the warranty, so I shouldn't have to spend any money. And I guess I had the warranty on it that replaces broken parts, which kind of keep that in mind for later, because it's kind of weird. So I ended up having to buy another 1-year warranty, which is kind of like the tech support warranty thing that lasts a year, and it pretty much makes it so that if anything goes wrong with my computer now that I have both warranties, I can take it in and get it fixed. But I don't know if anyway. So I asked them when I left how long it was going to take, and they said, well, they didn't really know the severity of the problem, but they said they can usually turn things around in 3 to 5 days. So I was like, well, that's okay. I don't really need my computer anytime soon. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 just came out, so I was like, well, I'm going to be playing that for the next couple of days, so, or probably weeks. So I should be okay. And I gave them my phone number, my address, all that stuff. And when they asked me, like, all the information about stuff, they asked me if it came down to it, if I wanted to do pretty much like a hard drive wipe, a clear. That way, if they had to do it, then they could just do it without like having to call me or anything like that. And I told them yeah, because I had already gotten rid of most of the stuff on there, that there wasn't anything important, like I said, on there. So I went home and just sort of, I guess I kind of hoped and prayed that nothing like bad was gonna happen. So 5 days later, I'm kind of waiting around for them to call me, and I waited all day and I didn't get a phone call. So I kind of thought, well, maybe they meant like 3 to 5 weekdays. I wasn't sure if they actually worked on the weekends or anything like that. I didn't even bother to ask them. So I was like, well, I got stuff that I can do, and holy shit, my computer's slowing down really bad now that I'm talking about it. But I don't know. I'm just kind of spacing off right now. But anyway, so I waited 2 more days, and I still didn't get a phone call. So I ended up calling them, and I asked them, well, like, hey, I checked my computer in, and I still haven't got a phone call back from you guys, kind of giving me an update on how things are going. And the guy that was on the other end of the phone, who I probably talked to like 15 times in the last while, he was clueless, I should say. Like, I don't really understand. He's kind of one of those people that you're just like, well, how the hell did he even get a job here? So he went to look up my information, and he came back a couple minutes later, and he goes, I'm not seeing your computer anywhere. And I'm like, oh shit, like, I thought maybe something bad had happened, like they checked my computer out to the wrong person, or something, weird like that happened. So I'm attempting to describe to him like what my computer is and all that stuff. I'm like, you guys have my information, I know that you guys have my computer, like, please don't be messing with me right now. And he comes back a little bit later. He put me on hold, and he goes, yeah, I still don't see your laptop anywhere. And I kind of froze a little bit. I'm like, I it's not a laptop, it's a desktop. I told you that like 5 times now that it's a desktop. And he goes, oh, yeah, you didn't tell me that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I did first off, but whatever. So he goes and he looks for it, and he goes, oh yeah, we got it right here, and he starts telling me what was wrong with it, and he goes, well, there was a bunch of viruses on your computer. And I said, well, I kind of assumed that was the problem. I don't know how they got on there or anything like that. And he was like, well, you didn't have great virus protection. I said, well, it was virus protection you guys gave me, and you said that it would have been good enough, so, you know, whatever. And he goes, well, it wasn't good enough. And I said, well, clearly, if I have a bunch of viruses on it. So anyway, he said that that they cleared up all the viruses, and they were going to do some post-diagnostic, I guess, quote-unquote, tests on it, and they were going to be calling me later in the day. So I waited until about closing time for them, and I still hadn't gotten a phone call. So I just kind of wrote it off like maybe something else bad happened, or things didn't go very well. So I called them again the next day, and I was like, well, you guys didn't call me yesterday. I'm kind of wondering how my computer is going. And he proceeds to tell me that they ran their diagnostic test and things didn't turn out very well. I'm like, well, obviously, or else you guys would have called me. And he tells me that it's gonna be a couple more hours or whatever, and they were gonna finish cleaning up stuff and put the this new antivirus stuff that I bought on there, which was going to help protect it better. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. So the next day comes around, they still haven't called me, and I ended up calling them, and I asked them, hey, you know, what the hell's going on? Like, I should have my computer back by now. It's been, I think up to this point, it's been about nine days or something like that. And so he tells me that they're gonna have to do a hard drive wipe, and I said, okay, well, how's that going? Like, I thought maybe they were doing it, and he goes, oh, we haven't started it yet because we didn't have your permission to do it. I said, well, funny thing about that, because when I checked my computer and I told you guys that if it came down to it, you guys could do that. And he kind of started pulling his, it was the same guy that I'd talked to the last couple of times. He started being a little smart ass about it, and he goes, yeah, I'm not seeing on here anywhere on this sheet that you checked in with us that says anything about you guys, you know, that says anything about you saying that we could do that. I go, well, I guess that hot girl didn't write it down because she must not have bothered to. So anyways, I tell him that he can go ahead and do it, and he's like, well, are you sure you don't want anything on here? I'm like, just do it, please, just do it. So I asked him how long it was going to take, and he said if he started at the time in which they were doing it, which was probably, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he said it should be done by the end of the shift, like end of the night. So I was expecting to get it back maybe like 9 o'clock, something like that. So the next day rolls around. This was a Friday, I believe, when I had this conversation. So Saturday rolls around. I'm pissed off because I wanted to have my computer back by now. I wanted to start doing some recording and just getting back into things. So Saturday rolls around, and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I call them back. I still haven't heard a word from them. I'm like, alright, motherfuckers. I was getting really, 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 really impatient. And I asked him, so what's the deal? Like, why is this taking so long? Seriously. And he said, well, we're just finishing up now. We didn't start doing it until late last night. It's like, well, you guys are supposed to start it early afternoon and then be done. And he goes, well, we just got busy with stuff. And I'm like, well, whatever. How is it going? And he says, well, it should be done in about 15, 25 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, that's convenient. So I kind of waited around for them to call me. And about an hour and a half rolls by, and I still haven't gotten a phone call. So I call him back, and I said, well, I was supposed to, you know, you guys were supposed to call me 15, 25 minutes ago, and you guys kind of didn't. And the same guy tells me that, well, it's going to take a little bit longer, and they were going to call me when it got done. I go, well, I'm getting very impatient. You guys are taking way too long. I'm like, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole or anything, but this probably should have been done by now. And so he tells me that he'll call me when it gets done. I was like, whatever, I got stuff I can do anyways. So another hour and a half later, so 3 hours after they told me 15 minutes and it would be done, they call me to tell me that I can come and pick up my computer. I was like, well, you know, that's nice and everything. So I go and I pick up my computer, and I'm in a less than cheery mood, and I just picked it up. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Thanks. I'll just, you know, whatever. Give me my computer. I just want to get out of here. So I take my computer home, plug it in like I normally would, and it started up, and it actually worked. And I was pleasantly surprised, because I was just thinking the entire way home something bad's gonna happen. It's too convenient. So I kind of got my computer running, and I was starting to reinstall things and all of this stuff and whatnot. So after maybe an hour of having it online, it starts to slow down. No, this isn't happening. This is like some Twilight Zone bullshit. Like, this can't be happening. So I tried looking into like my computer, running some scans on it, running all this stuff, and I thought maybe it was just like getting used to all the stuff that was on it. So I kept it running for a little bit, and it still wasn't running properly. So I was pissed off would be a good word for it. So I kind of messed with it again for like the next day or so, and I didn't really have time to take it in to get it looked at until the next weekend. And it was still messed up. It got to a point to where the computer wouldn't even run. Like, it wouldn't let me connect to the internet. It wouldn't let me open up my files. It wouldn't let me do anything. So it was sort of what happened the first time. Like, it was kind of acting the same way back then. And I was like, well, shit. So when I took it in, I was telling them, like, you know, my computer's still broken. I think you guys might have missed something. Whatever, can you guys look at it again? And the girl goes, well, you know, yeah, we can look at it, all that stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And I did, like, another check-in, gave them all my information again, told them, like, where my address, phone number, all that good stuff. So I was like, well, how long is this going to take, you think? She said it should just take a couple of days, maybe a day or two. So this was on a Saturday, I believe. And so then I believe it was Wednesday rolls around, and I still haven't gotten a phone call from them. And I was like, okay. So I was getting, again, impatient, and I called them, and I was like, well, you guys still haven't called me. I'm kind of wondering what's going on. And this same guy, who I've talked to, like I said, so many times over the last couple of days, he interrupts me while I'm talking to him. He goes, oh no, we did call you. And I said, no, you didn't. I'm checking my phone while you're saying this, and I don't have any phone calls from you guys. He goes, but we did. And I said, you know, you didn't, though. I'm like, I don't have any reason to lie to you guys, but you didn't call me. And he goes, well, yes, we did. We called you and told you that, he apparently called me to tell me that my hard drive was messed up. And I said, well, what are you guys going to do about this? And I didn't really mention this earlier, but when I called them and they told me that my computer had a bunch of viruses on it, they said no component problems were wrong with it. Nothing internally, the power cords and, you know, all the inside workings were fine. And so I kind of brought it up to him. I go, you know, it's kind of weird that you guys kind of weird that you guys told me that nothing was wrong with the components, and then you guys quote-unquote fixed it, and now something's wrong with the inner workings of it. And he goes, sir, this type of stuff happens. I go, not if you know how to do your job, it doesn't happen, but whatever. So I asked, well, for the brand of computer that I have, it's HB. They don't stock HB parts. And I said, well, what's even the point of having a component replacement thing for HB parts if you guys don't, if you guys don't stock them? And he kind of gave me some kind of all over the place answer, and I was just like, well, that doesn't really work for me. So I was getting a little bit pissed off, and he told me that they were going to have to send it into the manufacturer to have it fixed there. And I said, great. So how long is this going to take? And he tells me that it's going to take about a week or two. And I just kind of was in my smart-ass mood, and I go, well, it'd be kind of nice if you guys would have actually called me a couple of days ago, but you guys didn't, so it's kind of whatever. And he says, well, we did call you, sir. You must just not have got our... I'm like, whatever. So they sent it in to get fixed, and about, I think it was like a week and a half later, so it would have been like no, it was a little over a week, like 8 days, something like that. I called them and I asked them how things were going. I wanted to just get like a little status update, see how things were progressing. And he says that it was actually on its way back, and I was like, oh, well, that's kind of nice. It's earlier than I expected. So he said that it should be back the next day. So of course I called them back the next day, and I said, okay, so where's my computer at? And they tell me that it's still on its way back. And I said, you guys should have had it back, whatever. When's it gonna be back? And they said it should be back, let's see, first thing tomorrow morning. And I was like, okay, well, that's nice. And then he tells me that they're gonna have to run some like post-diagnostic tests on it. And I said, can you please just not do that? Like, the last time you guys did that, bad stuff happened, so can you just not do that? And he goes, well, sir, it's something that we have to do. I'm like, okay, whatever. So the next day, it was probably, I don't know, getting kind of late in the afternoon, and I called them, and because keep in mind, like, they easily could have just called me at any time during this process just to let me know how things were going, but anyway, so I called them and I asked them what the hell was going on, because it was kind of getting a little bit late and I fully expected to have my computer back by now. And this same clueless idiot tells me that they haven't even started they haven't even started looking at my computer. I go, whoa. I go, what the hell are you guys doing then? And he says, well, it's just got here. It's still in its box. I go, well, I expect you guys to get that thing out of its fucking box. And I was actually swearing at this guy. I was that mad, and I'm sorry if that sounds silly to be getting mad about something like this, but it was just goddamn ridiculous. And I told him, you get that thing out of the box and you start running that shitty diagnostic test on it, because I want my computer back by the end of the day. And so he finally got off his ass and went and got my computer looked at and whatnot. And he gives me a call probably 3.5 hours later, probably an hour before they closed
before they closed, and he says, yeah, your computer's done, so I guess if you feel like it, you can come and pick it up. I go, boy, I will be there in 5 minutes. And I got there as fast as I could, picked up my computer, brought it home, and I said, if this motherfucker doesn't work, I'm gonna go in and just punch somebody in the face. So luckily I plugged it in and it works, and it's been working good for the last couple of days. I've been monitoring it, and I've had it back for maybe, I want to say like a week now, maybe a little bit less than that, and it's been running pretty solid since then. I'm kind of still moving stuff over and getting everything adjusted, which is why it's taking me a while to kind of get back into the swing of things. But like I said in my update video, things should start picking up here. I have some ideas. It's just I don't really have like much. I don't know. I've got some ideas, so we'll have to see. Maybe tomorrow I'll get back into things. I don't know, but anyway, that's my long drawn out story about why I hate Best Buy now. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks guys. It really means a lot to me. So bye for now, guys.
Again, this is every man for himself. Which one will win this first leg on the road to WrestleMania? And that's it for Kofi. Uh-oh, Punk looking for it again. What a move! The Royal Rumble really is true. Now two are left. Oh, jeez. He almost had his head taken off for that one. Ooh. Great counter there by Rhodes. Oh, and he lands that one right to the head. Big elbow. Going for the elimination. Trying to get one step closer to his dreams. Cody's history. I don't believe it. This one's over.